Hello friends, my name is Erin and this is Daily Elevations. Today I wanted to talk about contentment. So, what is contentment? We are a consumeristic society, big time, and most of the time we don't find contentment as much as we find satisfaction as we grab that thing that we want and desire. Contentment as a term, as a practice, is part of the yoga system. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, that yoga is not just about the poses that we do, but it's actually part of an 8-limbed path that has a whole bunch of other components to it, including starting off with a base of the yamas and niyamas, which are reflections and meditations on how we live and how we move through this world. Yamas are about your relationship to the world around you. Niyamas are like what you're cultivating within yourself. So contentment, santosha in Sanskrit, is the practice of being content as a meditation, as a reflection on your life. This is a practice that I've been deeply immersed in for the past 20 years. And there is still something that I have discovered in this time of quarantine that I have never had around contentment before, and I wanted to share that with you. What I have been noticing as all retreats are canceled, many trainings are canceled. I'm not going to the supermarket every day to grab that one thing and to see all the other stuff. I'm going like once every week and a half or 2 weeks. I'm not going into stores that sell clothes and gadgets and gifts because they're all closed at this point too. And what I found around this reflection and meditation on contentment is that without that stimulus of sales marketing, places that sell things, that I'm not going into this place of desire as much as I did not even know that I was. But desire is kind of the opposite of contentment. And what I've discovered with desire is that there's 2 ways that it can go once a desire percolates in your system, is that you can work, churn, get the money, do the things that you need to reach that desire, and then you have that moment of satisfaction before another desire emerges. Or you have desire come up and then you have to be like, no, I can't have you right now, and squelch it down, and it takes energy to kind of dissipate that desire. So desire, while it's moved us to amazing accomplishments in this world, is actually a very energetically draining thing to have in our system, whereas contentment is kind of that expansive kind of ability to be and be grateful and be content with what already is. I think what I'm learning about contentment and desire and how they balance each other out is that contentment, or rather desire, is a beautiful thing when a desire comes from the inside, where there's a calling from the heart to say, I want this, and then to go into action around creating that. There's a very different thing when desire is stimulated by those external messages. And then it's like something that our system has to process and make sense of. Many of the messages from outside are telling us that we're lacking something and that we need this thing that it's trying to sell. So even if we're feeling pretty whole and confident in ourselves, there's still this messaging, this crazy balance that takes energy and attention to really put in the right place without having them impact our system so deeply, without having them impact that feeling of contentment that lives inside of us and is really all of our birthright. I also want to name, because I know that there are many people out there being like, hey, lady, I don't know what you're talking about. I do not feel more content right now. I feel anxious and I feel nervous and I feel like I don't have enough and I'm in a great place of need. And I want to let you know that my heart is with you also right now. And I want to say, even in those moments where we are most sure that we are in need, that there's still a place that we can sit back, right? Needing, reaching, desire. That's kind of a leaning forward, leaning in, trying to grab and grasp, but coming back into our center, our breath, feeling the earth underneath us, feeling our bodies holding us, taking those breaths, then there might be a little more contentment available to you than you really realize. So I just want to make space for this practice of contentment. Is something that I really believe in, no matter what circumstance you might be sitting on. And then I just want to offer you to play with this contentment, because I feel like it might be, kind of a different level that we get to play with it at this time, that we might pay attention to what effects we have and might make better choices or different choices as the world turns itself back on, as those opportunities and those things are in our face all the time, to just notice in ourselves, like, what choices are going to support me better. Personally, I think that when the world comes back online, I am going to spend more time writing lists, being conscious about what I need, what I want to buy when I'm not in that overwhelming stimulation, but when I'm at home, really letting that desire come up from inside me, and then going to the store much more infrequently. I might find something to read rather than kill time in shops and stuff. And for sure, I might really pay attention to what's allowed in my inbox, and maybe set a certain time each year to really consider what kind of trainings, what kind of retreats am I most interested in exploring this year, rather than having it just be something that I'm checking into every single day. So these are my thoughts for you today on contentment. I hope they are helpful. I hope you're able to find a little contentment within yourself in these very unprecedented times. And I continue to hope that you find the silver linings and the blessings wherever you go. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.